Okay, hello everyone. This is my second video, um, voice recording. Okay, so today this won't be a PvP video, but this video will help you get better at PvP and be better. Cause today I'll showcase a couple of mods that have helped me a lot to improve. Um, so let's start with number one, and I'll show you my mods here. So the first mod I'll have to show is Apple Skin. So basically what this mod does is this. It will show you a saturation bar. So this is how food works in Minecraft. You eat and then you gain saturation. With that, you can heal. Okay, so let me show here. I'll go game mode survival. Okay, so you see how there's this little yellow things around my hunger bars. Okay, these are not vanilla. This is not vanilla. Look, if I go ahead and I'll see this saturation overlay, I'll turn it off. You can no longer see that. Okay, but if I go back and turn it on, you can see the saturation overlay. Okay, now if I also hold in an item that I can eat, it'll show you how much saturation that'll give me. Now, this mod is, I would say, essential if you play a lot of Netherite Potion and SMP, because you have to chug gaps there. And this will show you how much your saturation is full. If your saturation is full, you're going to heal. Now, let me show you. If I'll go to one of these slimes and let it attack me. Okay, I let it attack me. Now, you see my saturation will go down and my hearts will go up. See? When it takes from my saturation, it goes up. Now, if I eat my golden apple, of course, this also has regeneration, but as you can see, my saturation is back up, and that'll mean you can heal. So that's a really, really good mod. Apple Skin, highly recommend it. I think it's an essential mod if you want a serious PvP. Next mod is combat hitboxes. Now, I have hitboxes off now, so to turn on hitboxes, you need to go and press F3B at the same time, okay? As you can see, they have their hitboxes. So if you don't know what a hitbox is, it's basically the area where you can hit this guy, okay? So if I aim here, of course I can hit it, or here, but if I aim on the box, I can hit it. So let me turn myself on creative. So that's really, really good. Now, it's not, you don't actually need a mod. You can turn on hitboxes by default. But what I like about this mod is you can customize it a lot. You can have different colors. Let me show you something. So basically, if you have target hitbox color on, I'll show an example. If you're within reach, it will turn red. So if it turns red, you know you're close enough to attack that mob or player. So as you can see, I can't attack it now. But if it gets red, I can. So it's a really, really good thing. Personally, I don't have it on, but I highly recommend it to have on. But the reason I don't have it on is because I have a really handy mod called Crosshair addons. So Crosshair addons, basically what it does, it makes your crosshair better. So if your crosshair vanilla, if you'd aim it at one of these guys, it'll stay the same. But with this mod, it will show you this little thing. You see, my crosshair changes. It has some things at the corners of the crosshair, and that basically indicates me I'm close enough to attack. So now I can attack. As you can see, as soon as that turns on, I can attack, and I'm within reach to attack. But this mod doesn't just do that. It does way, way more. Another thing it does, for example, is with a bow. So we will go ahead and get the bow. Okay. So basically aim. Okay, I thought it actually showed that, but basically in PvP, when you hit someone with the bow, it will show you a hit mark. So basically know if you hit someone or not. Another cool thing about this mod is if you get an elytra and you put it on, you see a little elytra icon below my crosshair. So that basically indicates you have an elytra. Let me show you. I'll get this. I don't have it anymore. Now I have it. So that's really, really good. It's really um good, especially in maze PvP when you don't actually know if you have your elytra on or off. So this is Crosshair add-ons. I really, really recommend it for people. But again, if you don't want this, I would say get the combat hitboxes mod and enable um the target hitbox color, this one. And so basically you know when you're within reach. Another crucial mod is, if I scroll down here, is inventory HUD plus. So basically what this does is this again. So if I have this off, everything off, okay, this is how vanilla looks, okay? So basically throw two potions and it shows you here. Now, it does show you that I have the potions active in the corner, but you have to get inside here to actually show you the timer. So when you're basically, when you're like in a netherite potion round and you like fight, you can just go in your inventory and check that. There'll be a waste and it'll be really hard. Let me get a bucket of milk. Let me erase it. So basically, what this mod does is, if you enable the potion HUD on, now throw the potions. And it's way better because, as you can see the timer and the level of the potion. So I have strength and speed, level 1, and then I have, it shows me the timer, which is really, really helpful. That means you don't have to get into your inventory to check how much time you have left on your potions. So that's really good. Another thing this mod does is, let me get some armor around here, let me get some armor. Hold on. And okay, so I'll equip this armor, and basically the only indicator you'll have that you have this armor on is if you're going to survival, it'll show you the armor bars. Okay, so now you have this thing, okay? But if you download the inventory HUD mod, there's also something called the armor HUD. So basically, turn it on. Now, as you can see in my right bottom corner, I have the armor shown. Okay, so I actually can see what armor I have on. And you also have the percentage, so how much durability has left, which is really, really important. And again, any type of PvP that requires long fights like SMP, mace, and netherite potion, you can see the durability of your armor, so you know when you need to mend. So this is like a really, really important one if you actually want a PvP for real. I would highly suggest this. Also, you can do one more thing with this mod. I don't personally use it, but there's a thing called inventory HUD, and it basically shows you what items you have in your inventory. Now, this could be useful to, let's say, show you how many ender pearls you have, but I don't really use this one because I don't really like it and I don't feel like you need to use it. But you can always use it. As you can see, it's very customizable. You can change everything here. Also, for the armor HUD, you can also have your sword or weapon main hand. So if I enable it, you'll see a sword icon, and if I get a netherite sword, you'll see a netherite sword appears there with 100% durability. Personally, I don't like that. I only use it for the armor, but I can use it for the shield as well, for the amount of arrows. And I think this is for how many slots are left in your inventory, but I don't use it. And so you can also like kind of tweak it around, you can change where everything is. I have my potions here, armor down here, and inventory here. You can also disable and enable something. So as you can see, you don't see my armor back there. But if I enable it, sorry, not this one, hold on. But if I enable it, I can see my armor is back on. Okay. Okay, let me see if I actually have any more. Yeah, okay. Now, this last mod it's a personal preference of mine, but I personally love it. So it's called Natural Motion Blur. Now, as a disclaimer, if you'll go and actually read about this mod on the Modrinth page, you will say that this mod is not really useful unless you have a high refresh rate monitor. Now, I'll explain basically what this means. Every monitor out there has a refresh rate rating, okay? So basically, it's how many FPS, how many frames you can actually display. So if you have a 60 hertz monitor and your PC can push, I don't know, 1,000 frames per second, those 1,000 frames per second don't really matter because your monitor is only going to show 60 of them. So for someone that has a monitor like that, the mod is not useful. The creator of this mod stated that it's best you have a 144 hertz plus display, so then it can actually help you a lot. Now my display is a 180 hertz refresh rate, so this mod helps me a lot. And basically what it does, if you don't know what motion blur is it makes the game look smoother. So here, I'll turn it off. Okay, I'll turn it off. Now my game looks kind of, it looks like a bit stuttery. It is smooth. As you can see, my frame rate is 250, 249, always there, never drops. Um, but it doesn't look that good in my opinion. But if you decide to enable this mod, then everything looks much smoother in my opinion. You know, I spin around, everything looks blurry, but it looks so much smoother. So in my opinion, this mod helps me to PvP a lot because it just makes the game look smoother. Another thing about this mod is it does use your CPU quite a bit, so have to have a pretty beefy, uh, processor to also play at a high refresh rate and use this thing. Now, this thing has pretty much a lot of presets, but I'll go over the main ones, the three ones. Okay, so you have velocity based, which as you can see, you can read the description here. So basically what it does, it keeps on like a general refreshes. So put it like at a level one. Um and yeah, it just keeps it like this, never changes it. Now it does have a bit of artifacting, so basically look, some textures look, a bit weird, which I am not a fan of personally. So then the second option I have for this is frame blending. Now this is like, if you've ever seen really smooth Minecraft videos, they've probably been edited in DaVinci Resolve or Premiere Pro to look really smooth. So basically what this preset does, it tries to mimic that smoothness without actually you having to edit in any of these. So kind of mimics it, it looks better than the first preset in my opinion, but this is not the preset I use. Personally, my favorite is hybrid blending. Now, as you can see, you can read here, it creates the smoothest result, but it does impact performance more than the other two. So basically, expect a lot more frame drops, but this looks way smoother in my opinion, way smoother than both of them. And I just feel like it makes the game look so much better. And it helps me PvP better. Like, I've seen myself improve a bit with this. And again, this is like a personal preference, but I would highly recommend it if you have, a good PC and a good monitor. For anyone wondering, these are my specs. I have 32 gigabytes of RAM. I have a Ryzen 7 5700X and an RX 7600. A small notice: if you use OBS to record videos just like I do, I would recommend you use your GPU if you have one for encoding, because I used to actually use my CPU for encoding, plus the game, plus this mod. It made a stuttery mess, so my game was actually stuttering, and my recording as well, so it looked bad. But now I've changed my encoding from my CPU to my GPU, and so this mod looks way better. So if you stream or record videos with OBS, I'll suggest you use your GPU for encoding. I won't really explain what that means. If you want, you can just search it up, what encoding means, how is it done, by what part is it done, and how are the advantages and which advantages are, if you use your GPU or CPU or whenever you want to use them. Yeah, so that's the natural motion blur. And I think these are all the mods. Another, oh no, hold on. This is a good one. Shield fixes. Now, in vanilla Minecraft, there are some there are some glitches with the shield. Like I've had instances in Axe PvP where I broke someone's shield. I heard the sound, but their shield was still up. So basically, what this mod does is it basically helps your game not do these issues. So these issues will not exist if you have this mod enabled. So it's called shield fixes. It looks something like this. Hold on, looks like this. Okay. So it's a really really simple mod, but it does help so much. Now, last mod I wanted to show you is Zoomify. Now, this is this isn't even a PvP mod, but it basically what it does, it lets you zoom in like this. See, I can zoom in and see far away, right? But I would say an instance where this is really helpful is if you're mace PvPing, for example, and you wanna have like a better visual on what your opponent is, you could zoom in like that and see them from far away. So this is a really good mod, I would say. Even if you don't PvP, I would say you should have it because it just helps your Minecraft way better. As you can see, you could just edit this mod so much. There's so many stuff. Look at that. So many. So you just play with those. Personally, I just have it at the default preset. It just works well and it helps me PvP. I usually don't zoom in that much, just like that, and that's it. Um, okay. Also, I wanted to show you my settings because these settings would actually help you also PvP better. So the first setting is the FOV. As you can see, when you play with this FOV, you can it makes you see closer or further. That's the best way I can put it. So this is the normal FOV. It's like this. It's fine. You can use this, but personally, I would recommend you have your FOV somewhere between 90 and 105. Personally, I like it at 95. I've gotten used to this and it just makes you see more. And I think it helps you PvP more. The reason you want to have your FOV higher is because if you go here into accessibility settings and you go here, FOV effects. Now, I've disabled this. As you can see, it's off and everyone should have it disabled. But in case you don't know what this does, it's basically, see, when you sprint, your FOV changes and you can see like further. It becomes a bit more distorted. Now, if you have also speed, I have like speed too. Look at this. Look how this looks. It looks pretty bad in my opinion. Too much FOV, okay? So if you go into your accessibility settings and you turn this off, as you can see, it just looks normal now. It stays to my 95 FOV and it doesn't actually change if I sprint, if I don't sprint, if I have speed, it doesn't matter. My camera looks the same, which is really good because you don't want your thing to look weird. Okay, so you want your camera to be steady and you want to be like locked onto a target. So in PvP you don't want it to move a lot. So like that, you know. Another setting you'll find here is view bobbing. So basically what this does, it kind of, as you can see, look at this. My whole screen is moving when I'm walking, okay? Which I think it's not good. So I basically turn it off. And as you can see, everything is steady. Your arm is not moving. It's way better. It's more stable. And I'll just recommend it. Last one is damage tilt. Now, this is like a no-brainer one, so I'll show you. I'll go into game mode survival, and I'll let one of these guys come at me. Hello, bro. Hit me. As you can see, my camera, your screen, it goes like up and down, Okay. Hold on, let me get something like this so they won't actually kill me. But if you go back into accessibility settings and you turn this completely off. Hold on, let me launch one of those. Survival. Now I'll let one of them hit me. See? My screen doesn't actually move. My camera stays still. Which I think it's crucial for PvP, when you're like fighting a netherite potion and like get hit a lot. Your screen will be flying all over the place. But if you have this off, it's so much better. So these are kind of all the settings here that I would suggest. Now we should go into our control settings. And as you can see, we have a lot of stuff here, but what we care is this auto jump. You should have it off. It's having it on, it just makes things so much harder. For example, if you're like normal Minecraft, just climbing a mountain, it will automatically jump, which I think it's so bad. Yeah, I have my sneak on hold, so that means I have to hold the shift in order to shift. If I just press it fast, as you can see, it goes up and down. So I personally like it that off, like on hold, but you can toggle it. So yeah, and if it's toggled, this is how it looks. So basically, I press my key once and then I'm shifted the entire time. But personally, I don't like it, so I have it on hold. The sprint key though, I recommend it, and every pro PvPer has it on toggle. I am sure about that. So basically, once you toggle it, so you press Control once, it'll run the entire time while you have hunger, which is basically what you want to do. You know, it's have to have sprint on at all times. You don't want to suddenly stop sprinting mid fight. Okay, so this also helps you a lot in any type of melee gameplay. When you want to combo someone, for example, you need to have it on so you keep your sprint on at all times. You know, so you can do sprint hits. So that's a must in my opinion. Yeah, every pro PvP has it toggled. Now, if you go on to mouse settings, you'll see your sensitivity, scroll sensitivity. Now, personally, I don't use the scroll wheel in Minecraft. I don't. It's better to not use it. Just use keybinds. You should have raw input on. Uh, doesn't really. This doesn't really do anything. You should have all of these off though. And then you get to your sensitivity. Now, I should choose the sensitivity based on what mouse and DPI it has. So basically, DPI is how fast your cursor moves. Um, so yeah, if you have like a really high DPI, you should probably have your sensitivity down low. But it also depends a lot on the type of mouse you have. So you have like a heavier mouse, then you should have your DPI higher and your sensitivity higher because you move it slower. In my case, I have a SteelSeries Prime wireless, which is a relatively heavy mouse. So it's basically around 82 to 83 grams. So it's pretty heavy compared to like, I don't know, Logitech G Pro Super Light. Okay, these things are like 60 grams. They've reached like 40 something grams. So it's almost twice as light as this. So my DPI and sensitivity are really high. Um, a lot of pro players have their DPI really low. My DPI is at around 3,200, which is like really high. No pro PvPer. I don't think any pro PvPer uses that. I know Danger Mario used to have like somewhere around 2,000 DPI and 100 sensitivity, but nah, mm, I can't really use something else. I have really high DPI. As for keybinds, I would say all of these don't really matter. I would say the toggle perspective, you know, how you change your your camera. So this is the F3, you know, you can go first person, third person, you know. I think you should probably bind that to a key that's really easy to press. So for me it's the alt key, which is right next to my jump key, so that's good. And also right here when it comes to your hotbar, I would say this is a personal preference, but 5 is the maximum my thumb will reach, or any of my thumbs. So then my sixth slot where I usually have my foodies are, seventh where I have my blocks is T, and then eighth and ninth I just use my side mouse button, which I really recommend. If you have a mouse with side buttons, you should probably use them because it's super easy. Your thumb is basically always there, so you can always switch in between, right? And I think that should be all when it comes to settings, because there's really no other settings you should be using. Now, as for performance and video settings, that'll be a topic for the next video. But I really enjoyed, you know, giving you advice. I hope you'll uh use some of these because I'm telling you, they're going to help you a lot. The settings, the mods, they're all going to help you. I'll leave a link to all of the mods in the description so you can download them. As for how to download them and put them in your mod folder and all that, I will not teach you that, at least not in this video. You should watch a tutorial for that and figure that out. It's not that hard. You should just watch a tutorial. It'll take you like maximum 10 minutes. But that's it for today's video. I wish you have a good day and bye bye.